The body of Sandra Castillo was discovered by two hunters.
Lightweight hammer just to nudge things along.
He's accused of being America's most notorious living serial killer.
Christine, 13 years in the making, and investigators are confident that they have this guy. It was back in March of 2022 when Rex Heuermann was first identified as a suspect.
Decades of terror on Long Island finally led to one man, Rex Heuermann. For more than 30 years, women disappeared, leaving investigators with minimal evidence. The community lived in fear, unsure if the killer would strike again. Heuermann's arrest shocked residents and the nation alike. The Long Island serial killings began in the 1990s. Victims were mostly women in vulnerable positions, often working in sex work. Investigators struggled to connect the cases due to sparse evidence and geographic spread. Patterns slowly emerged, but the timeline remained frustratingly incomplete. Early police work faced jurisdictional confusion between Suffolk and Nassau counties. Evidence was inconsistent, witnesses scarce, and forensic tools were limited. Investigators combed through neighborhood canvases, interview notes, and tips that often led nowhere. The case grew cold, frustrating both law enforcement and the families of victims. As the killings continued, local communities were gripped with fear. Residents avoided late-night streets, warned loved ones, and speculated about the unknown assailant. Media coverage heightened public awareness but also amplified anxiety and rumor. Every sighting of a stranger sparked tension. Rex Heuermann lived an ordinary suburban life, blending seamlessly into his environment. Neighbors described him as polite and quiet, with a predictable daily routine. But behavioral profiling suggested a killer who knew the areas, surveillance blind spots, and patterns of vulnerability among victims. Investigators identified similarities: geographic patterns, victim lifestyle, and timing. These details suggested a methodical offender. Understanding the victim's routines became critical in linking the murders and narrowing the suspect pool. Behavioral analysis played a key role. Modern forensic science provided crucial breakthroughs. DNA from preserved evidence was tested using new technology. Digital traces were examined, and surveillance footage was reviewed. This combination began to focus attention on Heuermann. Detectives revisited decades-old case files, cross-referenced witness statements, and reconstructed timelines. Persistence and thoroughness allowed them to connect scattered evidence, revealing a clearer picture of the perpetrator's patterns and movements. With mounting evidence, law enforcement finally had a suspect. Rex Heuermann, once invisible, was now the focus of intense investigation.
He's accused of being America's most notorious living serial killer. Police say he's the Gilgo Beach murderer who killed at least 7 women and ditched their remains on a beach on Long Island in New York. Stephen Fabian has details.
Heuermann is accused of killing 7 women over 3 decades. Their mutilated remains were found near a stretch of Long Island called Gilgo Beach. Just last week, we reported on a 21-year-old woman's creepy encounter with Rex Heuermann on the Long Island Railroad, just 12 days before he was arrested. Kaylin Morales says she was the only passenger in the entire car when he took a seat next to her.
Initially, it was just me and him in the car, and I just thought that, he could have sat anywhere else. He didn't have to sit directly next to me. Yeah. And it just made me feel uneasy.
We have dramatic new video tonight of the suspect in the Gilgo Beach murders being arrested on Fifth Avenue, including the actual moment of his arrest.
It's a 53-second surveillance video taken from a convenience store at 35th Street and 5th Avenue. Here you see the Gilgo suspect, Rex Heuermann, an architect who works in Manhattan, calmly walking down 5th Avenue at 7 in the evening last Thursday night, July 13th. When the Massapequa Park resident reached the end of the block, you see a number of agents in dark suits make the arrest. Investigators reportedly removed a bin of rifles from the Long Island home of the suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer.
Here's a look at those victims. First, in 1993, the body of Sandra Castillo was found, discovered by two hunters. Then came the partial remains of Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack. In 2000, Valerie's partial remains were discovered by hikers in Manorville, New York. Jessica Taylor's partial remains were discovered in Manorville in 2003. And in 2011, limbs and skulls belonging to Jessica and Valerie were located in Gilgo Beach. In 2010, the remains of four more victims, Megan Waterman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Amber Lynn Costello, and Melissa Barthelemy.
The prosecution focused on forensic evidence, witness corroboration, and behavioral consistency with the killings. Witnesses detailed interactions, and experts explained forensic results.
They say pizza crust found in a nearby trash can matched Rex Heuermann's DNA with that on a piece of hair found on one of the victims. Since then, he's been connected to 3 unsolved murders and is suspected of being involved in a 4th.
Prosecutors say a break came last year when a new witness identified a car that a victim was last seen entering, the same car type Heuermann owns. That led to cell phone record searches. Prosecutors say Heuermann used burner phones to meet up with victims, taunt their relatives, and check the internet obsessively for Gilgo murder update. The final connection, pizza crust tossed in a Manhattan trash can, offered a match that excluded more than 99% of the population.
And Heuermann pleaded not guilty to all charges. He is currently being held without bail.
The investigation into Rex Heuermann is ongoing. Authorities have gathered forensic evidence, digital records, and witness accounts that continue to shape the case. New analysis is being conducted on previously collected materials to ensure no detail is overlooked. Heuermann is currently facing multiple charges, with the prosecution presenting forensic evidence, witness accounts, and behavioral analysis linking him to the Long Island killings. Pre-trial hearings and motions are ongoing, and legal experts predict a complex court process, given the age of the case and the volume of evidence. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth investigations. Comment below and let me know which true crime stories you'd like me to cover next. Your suggestions help guide the next episodes and uncover the most compelling cases. Don't miss out. Join the community of viewers following the latest updates and investigations.